What is up, guys? My name is Ephraim, host of Know Your Work TV, and I just want to say welcome back to those that have been following these interviews of these wonderful women that are businesswomen doing their thing, some mothers, also entrepreneurs, and just really being able to build and take their business to the next level in a competitive market. So today we have Miss Rasheena Brooks that is not just a hairstylist, but she's also a fitness coach. Is that correct? A wellness coach. Sorry, a health and wellness coach.
Yes.
And she's going to tell us a little bit more about that and just how she got into the industry and how she was able to thrive in the competitive market that she's in. We see so many hairstylists. We know there's competition, right? We've tried so many different hairstylists until we find the right one that we like. So, Rasheena, how are you doing today?
I am doing well, Ephraim. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm excited to be here with you. You look dolled up. I love it. You look
Thank
great.
you.
We spoke about it a little earlier. She happens to have a nice little camera. I said, "What camera do you use?" And she said, "iPhone." And I'm a little iPhone hater, so
Yeah, and of course my
everybody feels.
ring light not working because I would have really had the light on me, but yeah.
You
So
look good. Don't worry about it. You don't even need no ring light. So tell people, who is Rasheena Brooks? When we talk about Rasheena Brooks, what is
oh,
your bio?
okay, so I just like you said, I'm a hairstylist. I've been licensed. That's my main thing. I've been licensed and behind the chair 22 years. I owned a hair salon for 10 years. I back in 2019, I downsized my salon and I'm in a suite now, so it's just me. And I'm also a health and wellness coach. I'm a distributor for a health and wellness company, so I help with, I help people pretty much, whether it's gain weight, lose weight, or just maintain weight. I'm very big on health and beauty because, like I always tell my clients, if you want healthy hair, healthy skin, it starts from within. So that the two go hand in hand. So that's pretty much, what I do, who I am, and yeah,
You said you've been doing this for like you said 20 years. Was that all right?
22 years. I
The
mean,
two.
okay, so
You
I've
look
been
so young.
licensed.
How is this possible? I don't get it.
I know I get that all the time. Yes, I did just turn 40 in August.
Nice. Let's
Um,
go. Happy
yeah, so
belated.
yeah, so I'm okay. So I'm gonna say this: I've been licensed and behind the chair 22 years, so since 2000. But like hairstylists, barbers, makeup artists, we all start young. Like we all been doing our friends and our family in the house before we actually, got into being in a salon or whatever. So of course I've been doing it longer, but I just normally I count the time that I actually been licensed. But I literally got licensed. Like I went to hair school. My high school, I was fortunate enough to go to a high school that had a hair school in it. So my junior and senior year, I took cosmetology. Took us to the state board. My senior year, I graduated with my license. And I've been in the salon ever since.
What school? Because I know in Orlando we don't got none of that. What school were you in?
So I'm in Union. I'm in New Jersey. So
Jersey.
the school
Nice.
is called Union High School. So yeah. So in
Perfect.
New
Yeah, we.
Jersey, there's like 5 schools that have that.
I love it. I mean, we should have more of that, right? Learn a trade, take a trade right out of high
Yep.
school. So some of us don't go into debt trying to go into a degree that we don't ever use, right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I've seen a lot of that, but that's dope. I mean, I really want to get into because you also mentioned that you actually owned a salon for 10
Mhm.
years. Is that correct?
10 years. Yeah.
But then you decided to go and do a personal suite. What was the reason behind that?
So I feel like that's a good question. I feel like for me, I fulfilled my purpose.
Hmm.
My goal in opening a salon was I wanted to be able to, help other stylists grow their businesses. I mentored other people. I've helped, some of my old stylists. I've helped them open their own salons, and I just felt like, towards the end of me doing that, I was just ready to, be a little bit more free again. Because I'm also an educator in the industry as well. But besides me being a
Nice.
health and wellness coach, I also teach in the industry at hair shows and things like that. And I just wanted to be able to move a little bit more freely. And I just felt like I fulfilled my purpose, when it came to actually having a salon. Um, so I just decided back in 2019, my lease was about to be up at the location that I was at, and I just decided, like, the suites. So I'm in New Jersey, and New Jersey is a state where booth rental is illegal. A lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
So the suites that you see now, like you see them everywhere else, but it took a long time for them to come to New Jersey. So finally, they came here, and it was like perfect timing for me because it was like at the time when I was ready to let go of the salon. So I just, the suite that I'm at, everybody in there is either a seasoned stylist or an ex salon owner. And we're just to that point. I feel like it's good for people like me who want to transition out of the salon. I mean, out of like, salon ownership, or people who want to transition out of the industry. So I'm just in my suite right now. I got my clients and I just do what I do. But I just felt like I fulfilled my purpose, with it. So I was ready to let it go.
Do you have you feel like the transition has been beneficial for you? The clientele still the same? It's
Clientele
just
still the
less kind
same.
of less of
Yeah.
a headache, you'd say?
Yeah, because the thing about the industry is when people like you, they like you. They don't care like where you go, as long as you're not like, moving out of state or whatever, but they're gonna follow you, transition you. I mean, where my salon was and where my suite is, it's not too far from each other. But yeah, the clients that I had before I even opened my salon, I still do to this day. Like majority of my I constantly get new people, but majority of my clients are clients that's been with me forever.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I have a barber, and I was with him when he was cutting hair for $10, and then
See?
now he's cutting hair for $50. And
Exactly.
you weed out those that may not need to be with you anyway. But
Yeah.
he's made some moves, and every time he moves, man, it's like I got to stay loyal. I know that I'm gonna get consistency, and that's the biggest thing.
Right.
So
I'm
because
glad.
we
Yeah.
go ahead,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no. Go
Now
ahead. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, tell me about it.
Yeah.
You about to jump in? Go
No,
ahead.
I'm glad you said what you just said about when you as a beauty professional, like people in our industry, we do elevate when it comes to our pricing. I do feel like people expect us to stay the same, and we can't. Just like you want to get a raise on your job, like so do we. Like we can't be the same. Times are different. Everything goes up.
Mhm.
The cost of living goes up. Food goes up. Inflation. Everything goes up. So people do expect us to stay the same, and we can't. You can't live like that. So I'm glad that you said that, because it's like, it does weed out
Yep.
the people, because as I've grown in the industry, again, I've been doing hair a long time, like, and I've been an educator. I also take classes. I've spent thousands of dollars on my own education throughout the years. And, as I've elevated as a hairstylist, so has my prices, So now I remember the days of when I was building my clientele, and we'll get into that as well. But when I was building my clientele, I remember those days of taking 10, 12 people a day, Now I take 3 to 5 people a day, because, my prices have increased. I'm able to take less people. So, and now I've marketed to a different clientele at this time. But again, most of my clients, they've been with me for a long time. And as my prices increased, they understood, so it's like, yeah.
Now, one of the good things that you said is I've become more educated in what I'm doing. So of course my price goes up, right? And I think that's what people don't realize. You've been doing this for 22 years. It's not like you just got out of school and you're charging these prices. No, I've invested my time, my life into this.
Yep.
I spent money into it,
Yep.
right? So I know what I'm talking about, and that's exactly what happened with my barber. And I've seen other barbers that have been able to do the same thing. Is that every time they take another class and they're learning the SMPs and they're learning, they're doing a lot of my barber used to do a lot of barber battles, and because he was number one, first place, it means something, right? You
Right.
now have a track record that proves, like, listen, I'm the top of the line. So it
Yep.
looks like the reason you charge these prices because I'm the top of the line at what I
Yep.
do.
Yep.
That when someone leaves there's no complaints.
Nope.
And people need to understand, if that's what you want to pay, if that's what you want in life, you got to pay for it. If you
Mm-hmm.
want a maybe, go ahead and pay them, maybe prices. So definitely, I love that you kind of spoke about that and how you continue to educate yourself. To this day, you're still educating yourself.
Mm-hmm. All the time, because the
Come
industry
on now.
constantly changes. Like, I don't care. Honestly, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Things are always going to change. But when it comes to
Yeah.
my industry, things always change. So I always have to stay on top of, what's happening.
Nice. So you said you started with just friends, probably family, doing their
Mm-hmm.
hair. I'm looking at your IG right now. You have 17.5 thousand followers. I'm pretty sure that didn't come easy.
Mm-hmm.
What type of work did you have? And not even just so much the followers, because I'm pretty sure this is not all the clients that you're having, but still, people literally wanted to see what you wanted to do is why they're following these pages. I'm looking, you have some beautiful, beautiful pictures. I can see that you do a beautiful job. If you guys want to go see what I'm seeing, make sure that you guys look right under her picture, and you guys can check out her IG. But what does that look like, trying to build this clientele from just a young child in the game, Like, was there
So
struggles to get there, or?
I'm gonna tell you this. So okay, so when I first started out, I was very it's consistency. We
Mm,
gonna say that. When I first started out, like I said, I was in school, graduated high school, and then went straight into a salon. I started off as an assistant, of course, and then but I was very inconsistent with like building a clientele because I was still young and stuff like that. And then finally it clicked for me one day because when I started, there was no social media. We didn't have no Facebook, no Instagram, no nothing. And this is what I always tell people that and I still feel like to this day, even though we have social media, because when it comes to social media, a, you can tap into different people that you wouldn't be able to tap into just from being outside. But it's still good to get outside and meet people because, for one, people like that face to face contact. When you're on social media, you don't really know who it is you're following sometimes. Like, if you don't know the person personally, you don't really know if they're like a real person. So when it came down to me building, and I really got serious about it, um, I had business cards. I would go out and I tell even my stylist to this day, when I had my salon, I would tell them what I did to get to where I am. Like, I would go out and promote just like with the intentions of promoting. Like, I would intentionally go out just for that. Like, I would still be in the salon even if I didn't have clients because people walk in.
mm-hmm.
I would build off of walk-ins. I would build off of referrals, and then like if I had some time, I would go, to like a downtown area. I would pass up my cars, meet people, go back to the salon. Whenever I got people in my chair, I always gave them an incentive. Like I'm trying. I would be honest. Like, I'm building my clientele. If you refer me somebody, I'll give you 10% off every time you come. Every time they came, I would give them a percentage off if they refer somebody. And I just built off of referrals, and I built off of
Nice.
just being out, like me being. And at that time, I was young, so I was outside, I was partying.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
would be out. I would always have my cards. I would give my cards out, and I was just very consistent with promoting myself. You know, and so by me being consistent, that it just grew like quickly too. Like, when I really got serious about growing my clientele, it quickly grew because I was literally focused on really getting out there talking to people every day. I would just be somewhere. It didn't matter where I was. I could be in the grocery store and I would give a card out. I would give cards out. So, and then of course, when you start getting clients in your chair and you do a good job, people are automatically going to. I used to always make sure, this is another thing, I used to always make sure my clients had cards, at least 3 cards of mine. And I used to tell them, if somebody compliments you on your hair, give them a card. So I got clients that way. Again, like, they helped me build. And then from there, once you get the people in your chair, then you got to make sure you do a good job, so so you can maintain your clientele, because it's not about always doing new people. You want to maintain the people that you're getting in your chair. So I was very consistent, and intentional when I was building, to the point where, it grew. My clientele grew really fast. And in 2010 is when I was able to open my own salon. And then once social media came about, I already had like a reputation in like my area. So because I had a reputation, people would follow me on Instagram, and then I was consistent with posting every day. And then people will refer people to my page. And now I'm at a point where I'm not really taking new clients unless they were referred. Like, I'm only taking referrals now. Like, so when you see me post on my social media now, it's more geared towards hairstylists, because I'm in the process of creating an academy. I want to create like an online academy. Like, how we have hair schools, we have the
Mm-hmm.
brick and mortar. I want like an online academy version of that. So I cater more to hairstylists now. So my posts are catering to hairstylists wanting to learn from me, opposed to me trying to draw in clients.
I'm happy that you said that. You said, like, listen, I'm to the point where I don't have to take new clients unless you
Hmm.
refer to me.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get to that level? Because people that are getting into industry, they think that they have that Amazon kind of deal, like it's just going to happen the next day. How long did that take you to build to that kind of level to be able to say, hey, I don't just take anybody. I take you
um,
because I really want to do it, or you had to
yeah.
be referred.
A long time, because I actually just started doing that probably the past maybe like 2 or 3, maybe like 2 years, maybe like almost 3 years. I've been doing that, only taking referrals, and every once in a while I'll take somebody against my better judgment. And then I always remember, like, this is why I don't take people unless they were referred. Because the thing is, like, me being also another reason why I do that now at this point, because I am to the point now of being established, but because I'm in a suite now, I'm in a small space, so I need really good energy when I'm at work, you know, and my clients are going to refer people to me like them. So that's the reason why I just prefer to just anybody that one of my clients refer, I prefer to just, you know. But I'm not gonna say if I do meet somebody that I don't know and we just connect really well, I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna take them. But for the most part, where I am at this point, that's usually
You can be picky. You got to that level where I can
yeah,
be picky on
yeah.
who I, yeah, no, for sure. Um, Being in the suite, do you feel like it's just is it something that people are transitioning to? I see this a lot. People are going into their suites because they either want to be their own business owners. So instead of renting a chair, everyone wants to go into that. Do you think that's just a transition that people are having for that reason, where they just want to become a business owner? What do you think that suite game is coming into?
Okay, so I think yes, I think people want to become a business owner, but I'm gonna be honest with you, being in the suite, you're really a worker. Like you have your own space, yes, and you're in control of it, but you're not running a business per se. Like when you run a business, you have employees. So like I've done that already.
Yeah.
I had a you know, my salon had 8 stylists. I was running a business of 8 people. Well, more than that because I had a receptionist, I had an assistant. So, but I think a suite is good for people like me who is transitioning eventually out of the industry. You know, I feel like I just feel like it's not for new stylists. It's not for new people. That's because you need that camaraderie of being around other beauty professionals. You need to still learn. You're still learning. Like I know people who do it too early, and I'm like, you're still learning. You still don't even understand the industry. And the biggest mistake, because I made this mistake too, the biggest mistake that people in our industry make is not learning the business side. Maybe that's with any industry when people own something or before they actually when they're about to own a business, whatever business it is, whatever industry it is, they don't really research the business, like the financial portion of it. And I just feel like in my industry that's a big mistake that we all make, because I did it too,
Yeah.
where we're making all this money because our industry can make a lot of money, and you're not thinking about like taxes, accounting, payroll, and I did all those things, but I wish I would have did more of that research beforehand, before going into it, because I learned all of that throughout the process of being a salon owner. And so I just feel like people just want to say they own their own thing, but it's just like once you start running people, like I'll be more impressed when you actually open up a salon. Like I had 2 locations. My first location, I had 4 stations, and I built it from scratch. Like I mean, contracted, like gutted it out. Like I spent a lot of money, bought furniture from scratch. My second location, when I was ready to get something bigger, had 8 stations. And did the same thing. Had to do a full build out. Spent a whole lot of money. So I'll be more. I'm impressed when people do that. Like that's running a business. You
No,
know.
for sure. That takes a lot. People won't understand that. What
Right.
are some of the challenges you would say you've had doing that, opening up a business, but not just a business, something that you had to build from ground up? What were some of the challenges that you experienced, so those that may want to do it, they are aware of these challenges?
Um, challenges,
Or was there
challenges.
any? Or maybe there wasn't really challenges, but was there any?
Okay, so I didn't really have. I don't think I really had many challenges in doing it. But what I will say is, don't use your own money. Like I used my own money, so I'm understanding now. Like when you hear people talk about business credit or using other people's money, like it's very helpful to like have some sort of financial backing from somebody else or whatever. So you're not using all your money. Like I was constantly using my own money. Again, not having the right guidance. This is why people need to have the right guidance before they go into stuff like this. I'm thinking like I'm doing the right thing because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to owe anybody, blah, blah, blah. But you really want to establish uh, relationships with banks or lenders or whatever, because you never know when you might need the money. Things break down. I remember when my second location, my bigger location, I remember when I first opened up, and my first location, the landlord was very like easygoing. He was very helpful. My second location, I don't know if you know what a triple net lease is, but
Somebody
basically,
leasing from somebody? Is that correct?
Well, no, basically what that means is like you know how normally when you rent a property or rent a location, you're in charge of like the utilities, but
Okay.
the landlord is in charge of like fixing stuff, right? But when it comes to a commercial properties are different. So the landlord can do something called a triple net lease, which is they you are in charge of everything. You as the person renting it is in charge for everything. Like you pay the taxes, you pay if anything breaks down, you pay it.
Oh
So
wow.
my second location where I was at, the guy that owned it was like 5 stores I was attached to, like a little strip mall. He owned all the stores, and we it was a triple net lease, so we paid for everything. So if anything broke down, it was our responsibility. And I remember when I first got there and I signed my lease, and I didn't think to have my contractor come and look at the hot water heater. So it needed to be, I needed a bigger one. You know, I have a salon, I needed a bigger one. So I convinced the landlord to like replace it, even though I signed my lease already. So he did that for me. But then like maybe 2 months later, my central air unit broke. I had to replace that whole thing.
Not the
Yes, I
AC.
did. And it was in the summertime.
No.
It was in the summertime too. So I say all that to say for things like that, things unexpected that you
Yeah.
have to spend a lot, I had to spend a lot of money on that, you know? So imagine using your money all the time when you're in a bit like you need to you need to have some sort of relationship, like I said, with banks or something where you can get a loan so you don't have to always just use your money. So that would be like one of the biggest lessons that I
Okay.
would say.
In being in the hair industry for 22 years, is this something that kind of runs in the family? Is this something that you just
Nope.
kind of picked up,
It's something I
you
picked
fell in
up.
love with by
Yeah, my
accident, or how does this love come to be in the industry for so long?
I don't know. It's weird because the only person other than me in my family, both sides that did hair is my grandmother, which is my father's mother. She was a hairdresser like back in the day, but she's the only person besides me. I don't know where it came from. I just always loved, like 10, 11 years old. I was like doing my own hair, doing my friends and family. Always loved it, and then I don't know. I've always just been into it, and I don't know where it came from. I just always been creative like that.
You just always had a passion to
Mhm.
just do hair, make sure people look
Yep.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we all got to make sure we look good on the hair, right? That makes a huge
Yep.
difference. And then you tapping into a different industry. How did
Right.
you end up in the health and well? I mean, the health I kind of get it, right? It
Yeah.
kind of goes in with the beauty, but how did you realize? Okay, I need to tap into something different because now it looks like you're actually trying to possibly go into this direction. Is that correct, or where were you
Not.
trying to
I'm just
lead?
trying to. I'm just both together. So the way I got with this company, so I was back in 2019. Oh, again, it's like that year everything happened. I was experiencing like a little bit of like health issues. I had like issues with my iron levels are like always low. I was having issues with my digestive system. So one of my girlfriends, you ever I could talk about the company. It's called Total Life Changes. I'm pretty sure
Okay,
you might be familiar with it, but um so my girlfriend, she was a part of this company where we have like detox teas, we have, just like health products. So and I knew I needed to detox. Like we all need to detox, right? So I
hmm
started using the products and they started to make me feel I was feeling really good using the product. Like I was feeling light, like my skin was clearing up, like I was glowing. It was just I just felt good. So one of the detox teas that we have has CBD in it, right? So I was using the products for like 6 months, right? And I started to do some research on CBD, and CBD helps to correct bodily dysfunction. So when you have things going on internally,
uh-huh.
acne, alopecia, anxiety, it helps to like it can help correct it, right? So because I'm a hairstylist, I have a lot of clients with alopecia, you know. So I was like, maybe I should join the company and I could get my clients on these products because again, I have clients with health issues and I have clients with alopecia. So maybe it can help, you know? And the thing about it is people don't realize that hair health, yes, as a hairstylist, we can do what we do to maintain it. But hair health also has a lot to do with what's going on inside of your body. So if you're taking medication, if you're not eating right, if you're not drinking enough water, it'll show on your hair. I can always tell when people come to me and they have like certain things going on with their hair. I can always tell they're taking either blood pressure medication, they got a thyroid issue, they're not drinking enough water, they're not eating. I can always tell
All from the hair.
all from the hair. And I'll ask them, especially if it's medication related, I'll say, are you taking any medication? They'll be like, yeah. I'll be like, which one? And a lot of times I'll know which medication because just from the way it
Wow.
feels. Yeah. So I was like, so I said to myself, let me join this company and get my clients on these products. That was the goal, just to get my clients on the products, right? Let me join this company, get my clients on these products, and help them, because I was feeling good and I noticed the difference. So I joined the company back in 2020, the year of the pandemic, right before the pandemic hit. And I started getting my clients on these products. And then I saw one of the products that we have. It's a liquid multivitamin. It's called Nutriverse. So I started to see my clients' hair get stronger from taking the vitamin, right? And they started to notice, because the thing is, when we take vitamins in a pill form, they have a lot of fillers, a lot of chemicals, and a lot of times you don't absorb it. But when a vitamin is in a pill form, it hits your system directly. So, because people are not getting the nutrients that they need for their hair, from our food. So I started
Let's
to
go
see.
back to that because I
Uh-huh.
think you said both of them. You said you take in a pill form, you don't observe it. Is it if you do the liquid, you observe it more?
You
So
absorb
those
it
are just
better
listening.
from a
The
liquid.
liquid.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's going to hit the bloodstream directly.
Got it.
And again, your hair needs nutrients from the body or from food or whatever to thrive also. So I started to see my clients' hair get stronger, and they started to notice as well. And so I just started getting my clients on these products, and it was like, I was getting everybody on it. And then, naturally, I share what I do on social media. So because I share and I just started showing myself using the products, I started getting people hitting me up on social media. And it is a network marketing company. So network marketing meaning, you can build a team, get other people
Mhm.
involved, right? So then I started having other people want to join the company with me. So then it became like a big thing. And then I became like a big part of big, like, what do you call it? I became like a big, um,
Ambassador.
oh, yeah, like a big deal in the company. So it turned into something way bigger than what I planned on it. But, what I love about the company is it has helped me also with personal development. It's helped me become more consistent with working out myself. That's the reason why you said, like, I look young. Like, people always, like, I look younger now than I did when I was like 30. And
Mm.
it's because I drink more water, I take my products, and I also work out more. But I contribute that to the company because me being a part of a health and wellness company, obviously, it's like if you're promoting a health product, you need to
Yeah.
be consistent. Yeah,
Mhm.
it just makes like you need to be looking like you promote one. So it has, yeah, like it has helped me to be more consistent with my own health. So I promote both. But again, me being a hairstylist and an educator in the industry is my main thing, you know. Um, at one point I did think, like, did I want to go into that type of field, like just being more of a health coach, because I thought about that as well.
Mhm.
Um, and not saying that it's off the table that I would never do that, but as of right now, my industry is where my passion is. I want to go, when I do decide to come from behind a chair, I want to be more of an educator in my industry still.
So they pretty much go hand in hand. Is that correct?
Yeah,
All
they
right.
do.
Okay. I love it.
They do.
I love it. Yeah. No. For sure. I mean, just kind of what you're talking about. I get it. Right. You're wanting to help these women that may have some sort of maybe losing hair, thin hair. And I'm guessing what you're providing is that it helps in all those senses where people can continue to just maybe regrow. Is it help with regrowth as well, or?
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you're putting the right stuff in your body, it's going to help the hair. It's going to stimulate, the blood flow in the scalp, and it's going to help it grow. Yes.
Nice. So you said this happened during a pandemic. Is this something that you picked up during a pandemic because of the pandemic and the people working from home, or?
I started before the pandemic hit. So I did.
Got
So
it.
it was before I even knew the pandemic was going to hit.
How did you transition through the pandemic, knowing that you weren't able to probably see your clients the way that you were seeing
Yeah,
them?
I worked this business, the health business. I worked that business more during the pandemic because it was funny, because majority of the people in that company did very well because became health conscious. Now people want to buy the health products because you know the pandemic made everybody scared, like that they needed to stay healthy. So I did pretty good during the pandemic with the company because it is a health company. Once we were able to get back to work, and I got back in a salon, I continued to work with the company. I continued to still do it because I'm still a part of the company, but I went back to focusing a lot more on hair because now I'm back in the salon and I'm back with the clients. But yeah, during the pandemic, that's what I focused on. I worked on that business.
Nice. No, that's
Mhm.
dope. I mean, I love how you just it goes hand in hand. So it's not like you got to
Yeah.
do too much, but as you're working on someone's hair, you can continue to provide them and educate them on the health aspect of things. So I'm still shocked that you're able to know what somebody's taking by just working with their hair. That's
Yeah.
just mind blowing to me. But when you're that expert, that's the things that you actually are able to learn, which is why she charges the price that she charges. Is like I'm helping you even just with not just a hair design and styling your hair. I'm helping you on how we can keep your hair healthy or get your hair healthy. So I
Like I'm
love it.
very like what you just said. Like I'm into hair care. You know, it's not just me just doing your hair and that's it. Like I educate my clients on how to take care of their hair in between their visits, because you also need to know, like, you can't just I do your hair today and then you just go home and just be buck wild. You gotta know how to maintain it when you're at home.
Hmm.
The client also has to do their part. So yes, I'm very into that.
Are you in the education part of it as well? Like you're doing classes and stuff like that, or something that you're leaning towards? Are you do any of
Yeah,
that?
that's what I'm saying. I've been teaching at like hair shows for like probably
Got
the
it.
past maybe like the past 12, 13 years. I teach at hair shows. That's why I wanted to create like an academy, because I know a lot of what the hair industry is missing, especially on the business side of the industry. Like there's a lot that we don't think about or we don't know. We don't know how to, a lot of us, we like I said, in the industry make so much money. A lot of stylists don't know how to manage their money. A lot of stylists don't know how to um, plan for retirement. That's the biggest thing. The biggest thing in my industry is one thing I tell when new people come to me, they always ask me, what advice would you give? And I always say, plan for your retirement in the beginning. Before you even, like, you could do hair, you can be still doing hair 20 years from now, but excuse me, but plan now for that, because you don't want to get to the point of being ready to come from behind the chair and you're not prepared.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that's a hard industry. Not only that, you don't know
Excuse me.
when something can happen to the hands, right?
Yep.
Be ready for that. And I actually talked to my barber about that. Like, man, you can't be behind the chair forever. And I know he's not, but he's
You
sort of like
can't.
you talk about the going to these shows. Is this by choice? Is this because someone is calling upon you? How do you get
By,
into these shows?
by choice.
By choice.
Well, so let me see. When I realized I had a maybe a passion or love for helping other stylists, I wanted to be okay. So I used to go to hair shows myself, and I was fascinated by, like, most people don't know what a trade show is. Like for us as hairstylists, that's how we go to get our education. We go to like trade shows, right? So it'll be um like a convention center, right? And there'll be different booths, all different companies, all different hair companies. You'll see
Mm-hmm.
people on the platform doing hair, talking on the mic, and then on the outside of the big, like the big
Booths.
the big room,
Mm-hmm.
um there'll be classrooms. So there'll be classes. You can take haircutting classes,
Mm.
whatever, coloring classes, whatever. But when I was younger in the industry, I was very fascinated with people on the platform. I used to be like, oh, that's so cool. Like, I want to be there. And then one day I was
You're good. You're back.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sorry. My phone rung. I'm sorry.
It's all right. No worries. That's
Hold on
business
one second.
calling.
I don't
That's
want it to ring
business
again.
calling. We're all
Okay,
good.
okay. I can't hear you now. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know why I can't hear you. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep talking. So I was very fascinated with people that used to be on a platform, and I used to always say, "Oh, that I want to do that. That's gonna be me." So there's a young lady. Her name is Tamika James. She's in my industry, and she's from my same state. So I know her very well. And she used to do the hair show. She's very big in my industry, so she used to do the hair show. So I reached out to her one day. I said, "Hey, can I help you sometimes at a hair show? Like, I'll come there and just assist."
Mm.
And she said, "Yeah." So I started assisting her. This was probably back in 2004, five. I started just assisting her at the hair shows. And so I did that for a few years, and then I started teaching. Like, she was, we did weaves. So I would teach. We were teaching weaves at the show. So I was actually getting on the platform and teaching other stylists how to do weaves. And then, and it gave me exposure. I was, it helped me practice, because honestly, like, it's hard getting on a platform speaking in front of thousands of people.
This
you know
hustle that
so
you got right
I did
here,
that for
it's
a very long
crazy.
time. Oh, I'm sorry, before her I started working with another company. Before her I was working with another company, and then I started working with her, and I worked with her for 10 years, so I was one of her educators for like 10 years. So after that, I've worked with other companies as well. But I really enjoy the satisfaction of being able to teach other hairstylists, and like that feeling of like when I'm in a hair show and I'm in a classroom, and I get those inboxes on Instagram like, oh my God, you helped me so much, and thank you so much for that class, it was good. Like, I just enjoyed that, and I feel like no matter what industry you're in, when, like, I feel like we're all given gifts, we're all given talents, right? And we're all
Mhm.
giving experiences. So
Yeah.
if I experience some things, or if I'm very good at something, just like I had to learn how to, like, one of my specialties, well, two of my specialties, I'm a colorist and I do silk presses. Like, I silk out natural hair. So I'm known for those things, right? So because in order for me to get good at it, I constantly took classes. I practiced. So now that I'm really good at it, it's my time to teach. So I always feel like when we've learned something, or we have experiences in life, we're giving those things so we can pass it on. But I just know, like, again, like, when it comes to the business side of the industry, that's something that I'm very passionate about, more of us learning about, understanding, because that's where we mess up in our industry.
Yeah.
Because especially like a salon owner, because it's like nobody is telling you how to, unless you get the help from people, like, nobody's telling you what to do. We're just winging it. you
Are
know
you are you still
so
able to hear me?
I don't know, but I can't hear you for some reason.
Try to
Hold
get out
on.
and come back in. I'm not sure. Hello?
That messed me up with my phone wrong.
No worries. Try
You
to see
think
if
I
you
should
get it.
go out and come back in?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do that. I'll be right back. Hold on.
All right, guys, but this is Rasheena Brooks. I love the hustle. I mean, it goes to show you, if you're in the industry, whether you're a barber, you're a hairstylist, you can't stop educating yourself. It is so important that you continue to stay with the times, with so many new different things going on, with definitely so many. Let me see if she's back in. Looks like she's back in. Give us just a moment. All right, let's bring her back in. All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know what
All right,
happened.
perfect.
When my phone rung, it just knocked off your sound.
It is all good. I was telling them about the hustle that you have to say, hey, let me help you with, this trade show. Were you getting paid at this point, or it was just something that you would just
Nope. I was
so
doing it for free,
come
because
on
I
now.
was so hungry. Let me tell you something. Back then, when I was younger like that, I was so hungry. I just wanted to learn. Just give me. I just want to help you. I want to know how you, because again, it's a skill. Like, when like speaking, public speaking is a skill. So, like, when those educators would be on that platform, I used to be like, oh my God, like, I want to do that, And like the young lady I was working with, like I said, her name is Tamika James. She's a very good speaker, and I already knew her. So I was like, let me help her. And just from being around her, it gave me exposure for one. That's another way I became, not obviously I became well known in my area, from a client standpoint, but I became very well known in my industry standpoint as a stylist. Other stylists started to get to know me because they would see me at the hair shows. Like, I was always teaching on a platform, and the girl that I worked with every single company I've worked with are very well known in the industry. Like, I worked with a company called Bronner Brothers. They have a big show in Atlanta called matter of fact, they had one in Miami this year. It's called the
Got it.
Bronner Brothers Show. But every company I've worked with are big companies in our industry. So, like, it gave me exposure, from others. So now by it giving me exposure, it it gives other stylists like that trust factor. Because if I'm working with this company,
Yeah.
then they'll, now they're gonna like follow me and stuff like that. So I've gotten I definitely have gotten a lot of experience with that, and have built a large network, being able to work with other companies and stuff. So yeah, it's
I want to know. So
Mhm.
because we're almost up to time here. Because she actually told me she's about to get more education after this, so we're almost up on time
Right.
here. But really quick, I mean, she's just a hustler, man. I mean, geez, we're gonna have to do a part two because there's just so much information that you're actually providing here to people that are in the industry. I mean, being able to just challenge yourself, to take a risk every single time, to look at somebody and not hate on somebody, but hey, how do I get there, right? And network and communicate. Um, how, what kind of advice do you tell those people that are hating on other stylists or barbers? Because you know it's happening in the industry. I've been to some shows and seen. I'm actually sometimes I'm really just appalled by how you guys can connect in a room. But then
Mhm.
I've also seen some people that just kind of not on the same page. What kind of advice do you give to those type of individuals
Um,
that may want to get in the industry and want to be able to connect with others or learn from others?
I would definitely say don't not try. Like when people say competitive, like because I know you said in the beginning, like the industry is a competitive industry. I don't really look at it as competition because I feel like there's a billion people in the world, and there's like every stylist can't do everybody. You know, people like who they like, and
Mm-hmm.
um, there's enough room for everybody in our industry. I don't care how many hairstyles there is. There's enough, and every hairstyle is different. I could do the same thing that you do, but I do it differently. We all do it differently, you know. Um, but I feel like it shouldn't discourage. Don't let it discourage anybody. Like you are gonna have some people who may not want to share, and then you're gonna have people who do. So, but I feel like don't not try. Like if I feel like if there is a person where I feel like I want to ask them a question, regardless of um whether I feel like they may give me some advice or not, I'm still gonna try. Like it's a numbers game. You just never know. You know, I just feel like,
What's the worst they can say? No.
yeah, they can just say no, or they just don't answer. And my thing is like in our industry, you got to network with people to get clients. So my thing is like do the same thing with the stylist. Like you're gonna get some clients that may not be interested. You may, I've had people where I've gone to give them my business card and he's like, oh no, I have a hairstylist. Like you're not gonna get it from everybody. Yeah, so it doesn't mean don't try to connect though. And my thing is too when you go to shows, I always encourage hairstylists to go to hair shows and go to classes because a lot of times they're there for they're there for the same reason you are. They're more willing. They are willing to help or willing to connect. You know what I'm saying? Like at a hair show, like hair when at a hair show, a trade show, we're in our element. Like it's excitement. It's energy. It's a lot going
Yeah.
on, and a lot of times hairstylists are open to connecting with each other at a show because we're all like like you go to a hair show, it's everybody fly. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody look good. Everybody,
Yeah.
you could tell. Like you could tell as hairstylists. Everybody looking good. They got color. They got this. Like everybody is, everybody's there pretty much for the same thing. So a lot of times, people will be open to connecting, but you do have those people that may not. But I just okay if they don't, that's fine.
Don't
you
pay
know,
no, don't pay no attention to
yeah.
them. Don't pay attention to those people.
Yeah,
I love it.
you can't let it get you down. And then and I've had people say to me about people always ask like also like being if they feel like it's a competitive industry, how do you build? You got to be consistent.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. You have to be consistent with putting yourself out there. That's what it is.
I love it, Rasheena. I mean, again, I know your time is coming up to an end. I want to respect your time. I thank you so much. I mean, consistency is key. You said it throughout the whole interview. So that's one.
Hmm.
Hustle, right? Hustle in this market. She's been doing this for 22 years and still getting educated. Right after this, she says, listen, I got somewhere to go get educated. All right. So I appreciate you, your time. Your time is everything. If you guys want to, if they want to follow you, where are they able to go ahead and visit some of your whether it's through for the health and wellness or the hairstylist, you have a website or something like that?
Yeah, so everything is the same all across the board. My Instagram is Rasheena Brooks. My Facebook is Rasheena Brooks. My TikTok is Rasheena Brooks. And I have a website. My website is RasheenaBrooks.com, but my website links you to like everything I do. So it's not an actual website page, but it links you to, it'll take you to I have like digital courses. It'll take you to my health products. Like it'll take you to everything that I do
We even
pretty much.
tap into these digital courses. Man, she got so much going on. I love it, Regina. I love it. She definitely not gonna be working behind this chair for too long. She got too much things. too much educating.
Yeah, that's and you know what? Like everything that I'm saying to you right now, I'm also tapping. Even though digital courses is still within my industry, it's still a new business. Like it's still a new industry in a way. So I'm
Yeah.
tapping into everything I'm saying. I'm working on myself with this new thing. Like the digital world, that's new to me. Like I'm used to being behind a chair, so it's very new. Me working a digital space now, so I'm working on me being consistent with going live and doing stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, it's like no matter what you're doing, you got it's consistency is the key because I'm working on that myself. Like I'm like, oh my god, I got to keep up with all these young people now. You
You
know,
young. You
I
young.
know,
You
but
young.
let
Stop
me tell
playing.
you, I'm still young, but I feel like I'm older in my industry.
Yeah.
Like in my industry, like I'm young but older. You know, and then you got all these young people doing all these digital things. They're like young, and they getting it. I'm like, I'm trying to keep up with them.
Yeah, no, for sure, for
You
sure.
know.
Learn from them, like you said. I'm not hating on nobody. If I got to team up with them, like, how do I get to that level of success? I would say. But Rasheena, before you head out, it is Know Your Worth TV. Always ask the same questions as we end the show. What was that Know Your Worth moment that allowed you to know this is what I'll be doing for the rest of my life? This is what brings me peace and joy and happiness.
Good question. I would say probably when I went to like when I knew that I wanted to do this, I go into hair school, and then when I actually got serious, probably back in 2003, when I really got serious about building, that's when I knew like, yeah, this is for me. Yeah.
Love it, love it.
Hmm.
Well, this has been Rasheena Brooks. I thank you for your time, guys. If you guys want to go ahead and follow her, make sure that you guys follow her at Rasheena Brooks. You guys will see that right under her. RasheenaBrooks.com. You can actually go to that website and see the links to all her social media platforms and the things that she's actually been doing. Again, we're highlighting women that are amazing, just like Rasheena. You can see that she's been in this industry for 22 years, working very hard. Yes, there has been ups and downs, but she's never gave up on herself. The most important part, never give up on yourself. If you have a dream, you have a passion, continue to chase it and follow it. Guys, this is Ephraim. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you guys for watching. Tune into the next episode. Make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and you guys turn on that notification bell so that you know when the next interview is. Guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.